Today, we'll be looking at the LEGO Collectible Minifigure Series 14, set number 71010. This set came out back in 2015. This would be the first non-licensed minifigure series to have all 16 characters follow a similar theme. The monster concept fit perfectly in the September release leading up to the Halloween season. The series would take advantage of the relatively new dual-leg printing process. I personally enjoyed how many of the characters were not only connected to each other, but also with past minifigures. At first glance, people will notice a close resemblance to the Werewolf from the Monster Fighter theme released in 2012. However, rather than just quickly throwing in a werewolf character to fill in the iconic monster spot, LEGO took the time to make this character unique. They did much more than just turn his fur color gray and give him a long sleeve shirt. They upped the printing details on both his legs and torso. For his feet, LEGO took the time to put claws on his toes. A closer examination of his shirt will reveal the name Cal, which makes this werewolf the lumberjack from Series 5. The werewolf head itself was slightly modified to give the tail more room to be positioned. The older mold only allowed the tail to be in the down position, but now people can connect the tail to be either up or down. For his accessory, the werewolf was given his favorite treat. While zombies have been popular since the 1968 movie Night of the Living Dead came to theaters, the Walking Dead television series made them more popular than ever, so it makes sense LEGO would include zombies in this series of monster minifigures. For the zombie pirate, LEGO decided the pirate captain from Series 8 had finally found Davy Jones' locker. While much more tattered and gray from age, they both have on very similar outfits. Another detail to show the passing of time was his gray beard. Rather than having a printed beard, this zombie was given a separate prospector beard piece. However, it's his legs that make this minifigure special. He would be the first minifigure with a peg leg to have a printed normal leg and hip joint. With both the peg leg and hooked hand, you know this zombie pirate saw a lot of action when he was alive. For his accessory, he was given a broadsword with nicks. It's great to see that the zombie weapon is as decayed and damaged as he is. Many horror stories begin with the mad scientist as an insane genius leading to the creation of a monstrous creature, and this monstrous scientist is no exception. He is closely tied to many of the characters found in the series. His accessory of a transparent flask with a pink chemical inside has a fly printed on it. This leads us to believe he is responsible for either creating or changing himself into the Fly Monster minifigure. He is specifically mentioned in the Plant Monsters bio as the reason for the plant's metamorphosis, after he gave it too much experimental super growth fertilizer. He created the monster rocker on purpose, but the mad music skills were a pleasant addition thanks to the music he was listening to while bringing the monster to life. The lab coat printing being combined on the torso and leg piece might not be impressive by today, but to have the lab coat continue onto the legs and have boots was a printing masterpiece for the time. I particularly appreciate the splashes of pink on the lab coat from his potion. This small detail made him unique as opposed to just using a pre-existing scientist's body. To indicate the large brain, he was given a new hat piece mold. This huge forehead is a great piece, and I love the crazy eyes looking through the goggles. It added that LEGO humor we have all come to love. According to her LEGO bio, this wacky witch has some serious home maintenance issues. Her gingerbread house keeps getting soggy in the rain, and the fly monster keeps coming by to eat it. She would be the fourth female minifigure from the CMF series to come with a cat. However, her cat is making her even more wacky, because rather than giving people bad luck, it would rather sunbathe. I'm glad LEGO gave her cat a fun backstory. This black cat creature piece might seem like just another cat, but the yellow eyes make it a one-of-a-kind piece and only found in our Wacky Witch minifigure. This uniquely printed piece did a great job capturing the reflective eyes of a cat prowling the night. I love the tattered clothing and hat on this character. It really fits her bio being a complete mess. This is particularly true with the hat piece. The crooked top and notched outer brim are perfect. Once again, we see LEGO utilizing this new two-toned leg technique to great effect. The black and white striped socks and a black boots look great. It's wonderful to see LEGO take the time to put in this detail even though most of it will be covered up by her dress piece. This paper dress is the same one used for Princess Leia. Of course, our witch has hers in purple. Along with the original cat piece, our wacky witch was also given a broom. This stereotypical flying instrument is nothing new, but does a great job of adding that classic look we all associate with witches. When the monster scientist gave his plant an experimental super growth fertilizer, the plant grew arms, legs, spiky vines, and a huge appetite. It instinctively hides and waits among plants to snatch up its victims as they wander by. Luckily, this plant doesn't realize it's carnivorous and will spit out its prey after a couple days. This is the only character in the series to have a frightened expression. This is because the minifigure head does not belong to the plant monster, but the minifigure it is devouring. At the time of its release, people noticed a striking similarity between the plant monster and the ivy creatures from the Resident Evil video games. I was very impressed with the vine printing on the minifigure's legs and torso piece. It really helped make the entire character pop. The large top piece for the plant's mouth is amazingly done and unique to this minifigure. The two vine piece accessories are not unique, but they do help add to this living plant's monstrous qualities. In terms of usefulness, the minifigure's pieces could come in handy for a lot of custom minifigure work, or work well as henchmen for Poison Ivy. While there was a lot of speculation on the origin of the fly monster, the LEGO Bio confirmed that it was an ordinary housefly until it was transformed to a half fly, half minifigure monster. The problem is, it still thinks and acts like a small fly. Even a normal-sized fly swatter will terrify this huge creature. The minifigure itself seems to take a lot of inspiration from the 2013 Galaxy Squad theme. A completely unique headpiece was created for this minifigure, and it looks great. Rather than just getting huge red eyes, LEGO took the time to etch little diamonds into the plastic. The long nose and antenna are equally impressive and add to the detail of this headpiece. The clawed left hand is a nice reference to the Fly movie, where Vincent Price's character has his hand turned into a large claw during the transformation. This claw piece is reused from Davy Jones' claw arm in the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. For his wings, LEGO used the translucent black fairy wings. It was a really good fit. While he didn't come with any accessories, these rare body pieces used to assemble him made it well worth the search and an excellent inclusion into the series. The Spectre loves being a ghost and using his abilities to play pranks on other minifigures, which is nice since Spectres are usually more malicious in their haunting. While most ghost minifigures at the time looked more like the bedsheet ghosts from children's books, I'm glad they gave this one a more phantom appearance. The leg piece is the same one used for the ghost in the Ninjago theme, and it's used to great effect. The Spectre's appearance is heavily influenced by the Dementors from Harry Potter. The tattered cloak matches the second Dementor minifigure, and the color matches the first. This is only the second CMF series to be given a hooded piece, and the first to get a glow-in-the-dark head. The plain dark gray torso piece is nothing special, but this lack of detail helps highlight all the other great elements given to the character. For his accessory, the Spectre was given a nice long chain piece. The zombie cheerleader has a lot of spirit and cheers for her team at Zombie University. This minifigure is one of 3 zombies in the series, and the third cheerleader available as a CMF. Her hairpiece is unique to her, but matches the color of the zombie bride. In fact, her and the zombie bride were the only 2 female zombie minifigures available at the time. Perhaps their family? The detail on the minifigure's face is amazing. The red eyes with the large gray circles underneath give it that hollowed look. I love the big smile with the missing teeth. The tattered uniform covered in rips and dirt stains looked like she was buried in it before rising from the grave. The green pom-poms look great and could be easily used for other minifigures cheering on their favorite team. The Tiger Woman is an amazingly put together minifigure, and I love how it looks. However, I never felt it belonged in the Monster series. LEGO says an ancient artifact transformed her from a normal minifigure into a half-woman, half-tiger creature. Now she leads a monster circus where humans are used for the attractions. To me, she looks like a minifigure in a tiger costume, especially because she wears a belt. Her hair and whip accessory are a reference to the villainous Catwoman, which again makes me lose the monster aspect of the character. Now, according to LEGO, her appearance was inspired by Wonder Woman's nemesis Cheetah, but me being a huge comic book geek, I'm reminded more of the more obscure Marvel heroine, Tigra. Now, once we move past my personal opinion of her not being a monster, it is a beautifully designed figure. The patch of white fur on her chest and the black stripes along the sides of her torso and leg pieces are instantly recognizable as belonging to a tiger. The crooked smirk on her face is the perfect for this feline character. Come on, y'all knew there was going to be a bad cat pun in here somewhere. Her tailpiece is the same one used for the scratchy minifigure that came in the Simpsons CMF series before this. While I think her hair with ears sticking out lost the monster vibe, it looks great. The Gargoyle is a fantastic addition to the cast of monster characters in this theme. Gargoyles have an interesting history. Originally, they were believed to frighten away evil spirits, and then later they became vessels of demonic possession. LEGO made their Gargoyle a stubborn klutz that tends to sleep for a few days or centuries. He was given the short kid legs to closely resemble the crouching position these gargoyles are in when perched on top of buildings. In his bio, the gargoyle tends to fall off buildings a lot. So, LEGO took the time to put cracks into the design of his torso piece and hat to show the damage he sustained over the ages. The hat piece with the horns and ears is a new piece exclusive to this character. Now, unfortunately for our gargoyle friend, the wings are ornamental and can't be used to fly. But luckily for us LEGO collectors, this would be the first time the dragon-like wings were ever used. While his headpiece is amazingly detailed, the feature most people might notice is that he is one of the few LEGO minifigures to be given a nose. The skeleton guy is the only character in the series who is not a monster. He is actually a trick-or-treater. This makes him the costume character of the bunch. The black suit with skeleton printing is just like the costume you would buy at a store. A small detail, but interesting fact is the string holding on his mask goes all the way around the head. Now this would be only the second minifigure to have printing that wraps completely around the head. Alfred Pennyworth was the first. Now speaking of side printing, I really appreciate LEGO deciding to put the bone printing down the sides of the arms and legs. His accessory of a trick-or-treat bucket was created by changing the color of the leprechaun pot of gold to orange and printing a jack-o'-lantern design on the front. The Monster Rocker gives us another variation of Frankenstein's monster. While he is technically a variant of the monster in Series 4, it is the same mold LEGO has used for all 4 of the monsters inspired minifigures. This time around, the monster lives for music. Literally, as he uses a guitar to rock out, it creates electricity to keep him fully charged. The torn denim might be a heavy metal staple, but the look works really well with our body parts assembled creature. The metal belt stud complements his steel-studded square foot boots. The chain and padlock necklace he wears complete this ensemble perfectly. I love the back of his torso piece. The stitched-on logo proudly displaying the words shock and roll give us that great humor and bad wordplay LEGO is known for. The headpiece looks great, and if you can compare it to the one that came out years earlier, you can see the advancement in LEGO printing technology for these minifigures. The hairpiece gives us that large cranium the monster has been known for ever since Boris Karloff walked on the big screen. The red electric guitar he was given as an accessory is the same guitar from the rehearsal stage set number 41004, button red. Now, even though we've seen this piece in a lot of sets, it remains a good piece to get. Since guitars come in many different designs in real life, it's great to get a bunch of different prints in LEGO form. The zombie businessman brings us to the third and final zombie in the series. Now, while some may think that having 3 of the same monster is excessive, it worked for me. The slow-moving zombies are only frightening when they come in large numbers. I say the more, the scarier. The zombie businessman is another great addition to the ever-growing zombie horde. The tattered suit printing on the leg and torso piece is amazingly detailed. The fact that LEGO took the time to show the buttonholes in the undershirt exposed from the ripped jacket highlights the amount of care they put into these characters. While I appreciate the rip on his right sleeve, I do wish LEGO would have done something on the back. The headpiece is also uniquely designed. This figure with broken glasses, exposing one red eye and a closed mouth with a gray liquid oozing out. The hairpiece could have been a bit more disheveled, but works well enough for this character. The briefcase accessory is nothing special, but the 2x2 printed tile piece is spectacular. The Zombie Times continues LEGO's love of playing with the Times newspaper. The Toxita symbol was one of those nice little Easter eggs for LEGO fans who like finding connections to other sets and themes. The Brains title and picture fit the LEGO humor we love. According to Irish folklore, the Banshee was a fairy spirit who cries in mourning for a person about to die. These foreshadowing wails of death were frightening. However, this is LEGO, so let's get off the morbid topic of death and get to the figure. The Banshee leg piece once again uses the Ninjago ghost tail to great effect. The translucent clear and marbled sand green coloring is a great tie-in to the fairy mounds these creatures were thought to inhabit. The green blouse adds to this haunted, earthly look. The face piece, with its wide mouth and tears streaming from the eyes, fits the wailing Banshee from mythology. Not only was the hairpiece a unique shape, but it's the first minifigure to be giving a translucent hair piece. This would also be the first time we would see these aqua-colored hands. This inclusion of so many unique pieces makes up for not having any accessories. Squarefoot is the LEGO version of Bigfoot. Yup, those bad word puns are in full force with this character. The minifigure uses the same pieces as the Yeti from Series 11, but in brown. The squared minifigure leg piece that gives our LEGO Sasquatch its name has toes printed on the bottom. I'm glad LEGO took the time to put this little detail into a piece so important to its name. The torso piece is a solid brown. Since the headpiece covers most of the body, this lack of detail is not too important. The dark brown eyebrows and beard are a nice way to give a little more texture to this shaggy beast. For his accessory, Squarefoot was given a camera. This is a fun switch on people constantly trying to get a picture of Bigfoot. In the LEGO world, it's him trying to get a picture of humans. Spider Lady is a vampire. Rather than being obsessed with bats, she prefers spiders. She uses them in decorations, she wears clothes made of spider silk, and even keeps the 8-legged creatures as pets. Her black dress and torso piece, embroidered with red webs and spiders all over it, looks amazing. I like that LEGO gave her that spider necklace. It adds yet another layer of detail to her spider fashion sense. It's a shame that the back of this figure is just a plain black. While I'm usually forgiving of not including back printing, this time around it was a waste. The clear translucent plastic cape was fantastic. This illusion of being made of a thin, silky spiderweb made her one of my favorite designed characters. This see-through design could have been better utilized with back printing to see through the cape. The white vampire face is spot on, but the beehive hairstyle was what put this over the top. This was the same mold used for the Velma Staplebot from the recent LEGO movie theme. Her accessory was a red spider. While not a rare piece, the red coloring did make it less common. I have loved monsters and the supernatural since I was a kid. I even had a book published about vampires, so I'm probably a little bit biased, but this is my all-time favorite LEGO minifigure series. It was the first series that I took the time to make sure I found every one of the figures, and it got me hooked on the LEGO CMF series in general. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.